In this video, we're going to walk through how to do a randomized sampling methodology. In another video, we'll walk through the stratified randomized sampling. One of the great advantages of doing a randomized or probability sampling is that it allows us to extrapolate or generalize our findings from a small sample size to a larger population. In this example, we'll do one for school level sampling for an education needs assessment. Here I have a list of all the schools in a fictional country. If I scroll down here, we can see that there are 5,181 schools in this country. So the first question I have, if I'm looking at this large list that I've probably gotten from the EMIS, the Education Management Information System, would be, well, how many of these do I need to go to if we're doing a sampling, and which ones should I go to? So to answer the first question of how many, I recommend using an online sampling calculator. You can get to that by just going to Google and typing sampling calculator. I like this second one by Rayosoft. And when you open that up, don't be intimidated by what you see, but you can Google margin of error and you can Google confidence level to understand more and read the explanation they have here. Under sample size, simply put what the population size is. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily the population of the country, but we're talking about the population of our schools. So there was 5,181. And we can see that the recommended sample size has changed to 358. So if we can accept a margin of error of 5% with a confidence level of 95%, we only need to go to 358 schools and assess those. If we wanted a perfect understanding, 100% confidence level with a 0% margin of error, we would have to go to all 5,181 schools. But we don't have the time and resources for that. So let's take 358 as our magic number for this demonstration. Now, coming back over here to the school list, the second question then is, how do we go about selecting which schools? Now, there's many ways to do this, I'm sure. One easy way is through an Excel formula. So if I type the equal sign and start to type rand for random, under functions, we can select and press enter. And that's just assigned a random number between 0 and 1. To copy and paste that down very quickly, I can just double click this black square, and you'll see that every time I put my mouse in a cell and press enter, those numbers keep changing. So it's sort of a live formula, which is fine because they're randomized numbers anyway. It doesn't really matter which one's assigned to which school, but I don't want that changing over time after I've already selected my schools. So I'm going to copy that column and then paste the values over the top of the formulas. And so now if we go up to the top, we can see a very long decimal. That is the random number assigned to that school. Okay, but the next step then is to organize it by those randomized numbers, and this is the randomization process. So if we go to our Home tab and Sort Filter, we can sort by smallest to large. Actually, the easier way to do it, turn off the filters. I'll turn the filters back on, and you can do it here by clicking on this arrow. And you can do ascending or descending, it doesn't matter, but try to be consistent. In this case, I'll do ascending. I now have organized the entire list by that randomized number, and so I have a randomized list of schools. Now I need to just take the first 358. So I'm going to kind of scroll down. I've got one header column, so I'm going to find row 359. Press 1, Control and Enter to just put 1 all the way down. It's sort of a tick mark here, and I now have a list of numbers. In fact, I probably should have called this column the random column and this one the sample. Okay, now one thing that you'll have read about in the reading assignment is that you should also have a replacement strategy, because some of these schools you may not actually be able to get to, they might not exist anymore. There could be multiple reasons. And so in which case you'll want to kind of scroll down to the bottom and make sure you indicate either with a 2, an R for replacement, or even just writing out the word replacement. And you can then assign however many replacements you want, have those available. It is important that if the very first school that can't can't be accessed is replaced in order. So in this case, it would be the school called Belletania. So that is now your randomized list. Those are the 358 schools you need to go to, with a few extras in case there's some that are inaccessible that you can use as a replacement. The next video we'll get into is about how to do stratified randomized sampling, which gets a little bit more nuanced than what we've done here.